afternoon. We're at the NEC Classic Show today. It's a very cold Sunday in Birmingham, and I've been joined here by Daniel Hopkins of Practical Classic magazine.
Hello.
And we go back a little way because Betty, who you shall see a lot on our series, a gorgeous silver Subaru Legacy, was in fact owned previously by young Daniel here.
It's all my fault.
It is partially his fault, let's say. Give us a little background. How did Betty come to your hands?
Well, Betty's one of the cars that comes through the magazine. And basically, quite often we have readers who have cars which have been owned by members of their family who might have passed away or can't drive anymore. And rather than let them go into a scrappage scheme or get binned in some way, they want them to come to us so that we can fix them up, drive them, give them a bit of fame, put them in the limelight. You know, the better that comes to us by that route than goes to somebody who'll bang a race in. So
that's true.
I got it from the Brame family, who live up in North Yorkshire, and they know the magazine for years. Patrick Brame is a subscriber, and he said, "Look, we've got this Legacy. It belonged to my auntie Betty. It is a car which she's sadly passed away, but it's her pride and joy. We've driven it as well, but we're not going to give it the kind of love and attention that you can give it, and that the car we think deserves. And all we ask is that you look after the car, drive it a bit, put it in the magazine, and put this number plate on it, which is A17BET. And it's called A17BET because Betty met her husband when she was 17 years old, and that's why she got that personal plate.
Wow.
So I went up, picked it up, paid a nominal fee, nothing really.
Well, nothing actually.
I drove it back. It had a few electrical gremlins to do with the side lights being permanently on.
But this is an element, and this is
sorted that out.
No, this is hilarious because on the two MOTs it's an advisory, says the hazards don't work and the side lights come on.
Yeah.
Do you know why this is?
The hazard switch is broken.
No.
Oh.
It works fine.
Okay.
The hazard switch works fine. That turns the hazards on. The parking light switch is fine, and that turns the parking light on.
Yeah.
Your MOT inspector didn't know the difference, so he was continually pressing the parking lights on, thinking it was a hazards, which is why it turned the side lights on.
Yeah.
And then when he didn't notice the hazards, he said it doesn't have hazards, and it got through. As we know, Betty has a large knob with double electrics on the back, and didn't you go camping or something with it? Wasn't it going to be like a family camper at some
It
point?
was going to be a family camper. What we had, I drove it and was immediately immensely impressed by it, because what it is, it's an Impreza for people who are cool.
Yes.
So, you know,
Oh God, yes.
Because Imprezas are driven by people who really want to show you how fast a car they've got. Therefore,
Well, as an Impreza owner myself,
it's like you're putting it out there, aren't you? You're saying, "Look at me! I've got a car that goes wop 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 wop."
Yes.
And can probably get away from the police.
Yes, until they started driving them, of
A
course.
Legacy says, yeah, you can get on with that in a sort of certain lack of comfort. I'm going to go nearly as fast as you, but you're not going to want to get out of the car. You're going to want to stay in the car after a long journey. You could drive to the
comfy.
moon and back in a Legacy,
Yeah.
and still be comfy.
So we've been following the adventures of Betty, and we've been doing all sorts of things. You would not well, you would recognise her, to be fair, because we've done very little on the paintwork, because the idea was to get a concourse ready. But there's quite a lot of bubbly, rubbly, sort of rusty stuff. So
But it's very wet in the Cotswolds.
it is.
There's
It's basically swimming.
Farm manure on the roads.
And there's none in Suffolk, of course.
None at all.
None at all, anywhere near Peterborough, which is where PC is based, before you start thinking.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is just carry on making it better. I mean, she's got carbon fibre interior now, we've done headlight restoration, she works mechanically.
See, this is the point. This is one of the reasons why I knew you'd want this car.
It's true.
And why I infected your brain to get you onto Facebook to find it in the first place. All joking aside, I think that car is superb. It's turned me on to Subarus. The trouble is, being in an editor of a magazine like this, I have to indulge myself in a large number of different classics. I can't just stick with one make. And at the moment, I've got a project which is a Mazda 626 GTI Coupe.
Yes, you get really excited about this, don't you?
And I've driven it, and it's swift.
I've never met anybody who got quite so excited about that.
I've never thought I would. I mean, a Mazda 626 saloon or a hatchback, even a GD back in the day. Okay, we're talking a Cortina replacement or a Sierra replacement. You put that gorgeous 2-litre engine in.
That's true. It's a V6, isn't it? Yeah.
No, it's a straight 4, but it's a GTI version. It's cammed up, it's tuned up. It's a 8-second 0 to 60, just under 8 seconds 0 to 60. The coupe body is quite pretty, and it handles. So I'm pretty made up with that.
But Okay, so what we'll do then is once we've got it all looking good, is if, with your permission, I shall bring her up to Practical Classic Towers at a secret location in Peterborough, which is called Media House, I believe, or somewhere like that. We'll do a kind of a final goodbye, and then I'll probably try and sell it back to you.
Brilliant. Bring the bailiffs, try and get stuff out of my house.
So we're still at the NEC Classic Car Show in Birmingham, and we have descended upon the Dodo Juice stand, which, as you can tell, is funky and Dodo Juice. And we were hoping for Dom and PJ to be here.
Settle for me.
However, they aren't here because Dom's away on family business and PJ's in America.
That's right.
So we've got the A team.
Yeah. My name begins with A.
Yes.
So,
yes.
yeah.
Andron.
Yes.
No,
Andromeda.
Andromeda.
Yeah. Shit, right.
This is Andy from Dodo Juice. I call him Muscles, don't know why, it's a bit weird. We're here on the Dodo Juice stand, and there's lots of lovely stuff. They've had a great weekend, and they've been selling because we're on the Sunday, so we're more or less at the end of the show. Hence, you can see he's not bright and bursty, he's kind of a little bit fatigued.
Yes.
Flagging. Normally he's very bright and perky. Well, that's so what I heard.
Yeah, definitely perky.
That's good. So what I thought is, while we're here, is there is just about every Dodo Juice product here, apart from the new stuff, because you've gone and sold all of that.
Yeah. We've sold out of a lot of stuff.
Absolutely.
Like, it's not just the new stuff. Like, we've sold out of quite a few waxes. Purple Haze and Blue Velvet, which are our more popular waxes.
Yeah.
We've still only got like 2 pots of.
Well, they've been around for yonks, haven't they?
Oh yeah.
Well, because this leads us another thing. We had a little chat before the camera thing, because otherwise it'd be a bit awkward.
Yeah.
And it turns out that Andy's favourite product is my favourite product. And if you read the last issue of the magazine, we had it was Blue Velvet.
Yeah.
It was Blue Velvet, we had it in the mega test, and that's one of my favourite waxes, but it's quite an old school wax, it's organic, it's nice to use.
One of the first.
One of the first, indeed, yes. It smells quite nice.
Yeah.
It is, it's a good piece of kit, and it's been kind of replaced a bit now, you know, the Supernatural Hybrid and that sort of level of wax.
Yeah, Black Widow and like.
Yeah, I saw Black
popular,
Widow. I've spotted here. This came out Halloween, didn't it?
Yes, it did last year, not this year. Last year.
And what's special about this?
Well, it is based on our Supernatural Hybrid recipe.
Which is cutting edge.
Yes, it is. But it also contains Montan wax as well. So it's great for darker colour cars, especially black cars, hence the name, Black Widow.
And that works because all the other waxes, well, most of them, some of them are fairly colour neutral.
Yeah.
But some of them we've got Orange Crush, I seem to remember, is for ready orange cars.
Yeah.
And
sorry.
Well, I was going to say
the first 666 of these
we could be
actually,
brothers. Yeah.
How dare actually contains a little plastic spider as well.
I heard about that. In fact, we put that in the magazine. If you've got yours, we'd like to see a picture of that, because I've never seen one, in fact. The thing about this, though, is it's colour-based. Now, a lot of people are very cynical about colour coding waxes, because they're like, oh, it makes no difference at all.
Yeah.
But I believe Sir Dominic of Dodo did a actual, like, science test and stuff. He put on the safety goggles and a jacket.
He looked like, well, you know, from Breaking Bad. Like, he even had a hazmat suit on as well.
That's keen. He did some tests and stuff, and they came out positive, as in that make a difference on the different things. You got a sort of a warmer hue and stuff like that. It was quite exciting. Yeah. So we got that, and it turns out that we both like Blue Velvet as well, and Purple Haze.
Yes, I prefer Purple Haze myself to Blue Velvet. Like, yeah, I still love Blue Velvet, but Purple Haze always has a special place.
As your space. I'm going to put this one back on the shelf here.
Okay.
We actually have a queue of people lining up behind the camera that you can't see, desperate to buy, so I'm just getting in the way here, and your sales figures are going to suffer as a consequence of this.
At least this is video proof of that, so
that you were
can't
here.
Blame me.
And so when the stock just disappears and no money box goes back
we're
home.
All blaming, but I heard that you're going to buy a few things anyway to make up for the
shortfall.
Sorry.
Yes. Thank you very much, Andy. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
See, I said no touching, but that counts.
Okay.
And we're going to carry on around the show, and we've got a couple other people to talk to. Next off to Angel Wax. Hello there, we're at the Angel Wax stand at the NEC and we're joined here by John Hogg of Angel Wax, the man in the suit as they call him in certain places.
Certain places indeed.
Indeed. And we've been going all over the place. We've talked to Dodo Juice, we've talked to Danny Hopkins of Practical Classics magazine, and the nice thing about Angel Wax is that they have chairs. So we thought we would do it sitting down, and I wanted to know from John what his favourite Angel Wax product is and why.
Well, my favourite product, it just so happens, is the Enigma wax. Because chemically, it is vastly different to anything else that we do, and it's almost approaching a clever product.
So is this what you call an SiO2 infused wax, which seems to be terribly trendy, infusing everything with SiO2?
It's very trendy, and unfortunately, it's very accurate.
Gotcha.
So, yes, it's an SiO2.
So what's different with this? Because I know a lot of the SiO2 it is arguably a bit of gumph marketing-wise.
This is different because we have nanoceramic particles, so it's particulate SiO2.
Gotcha.
With the nano side of it, the particles sit in the wax, the gaps in the wax.
So yours is, in a way, the molecule you're using, the SiO2 form of SiO2, is more integrated into the wax than simply putting a little bit of like hundreds and thousands over the top.
That's the very mix. That's it.
So, and I have to admit, we used Enigma on the mega test and we really, really liked it. Of all the ceramic waxes, the two that we really liked were Tsunami from PowerMax and Enigma. And the standout thing about Enigma, it was a darker colour, Tsunami's a yellowy colour, was that this one was actually easier to use, which is what put it slightly above it. And then guys over at PowerMax just reformulated because they, from their point of view, they wanted to make it good. So it's really good. It's driving development forward.
Well, that's the thing. Can't stand still. You have to move.
Yes.
Because you never know who's behind you.
Absolutely. Well, very true. Very true. How have you been finding the show this week?
Very good, very busy, very focused, lots of enthusiasts, and that's what we like.
It's been a great show here, I feel.
I thoroughly enjoy it.
And you come from, because you guys are based in Glasgow, which is quite a long way away from Birmingham.
It's a significant distance, 5 hours.
5 hours, absolutely, and that's quite a significant outlay to come here. But you've been going for what, 5-6 years here?
6 years. It's this 6th year. We keep coming back because it's good fun.
We are going to leave you in peace, but I have good news and bad news.
And the good news is?
The good news is today is Sunday, so it's the last day of the show. So you can go back to the sunshine and tan that you'll get in Glasgow.
The tropical weather, the palm trees.
Very dry though, so remember the moisturiser. And the bad news, unfortunately, is that we will also be following you up the M6. I mean, not literally, that would be weird.
But a set distance, I would hope.
Yes. And we're going to be spending the next couple days at Angel Wax HQ.
Yes.
And you're, am I right in thinking the Paisley part of Glasgow, or am I totally off piece there?
Renfrew, so just
Renfrew.
south of Glasgow.
South of Glasgow, which is kind
of beside there.
It is indeed. And we're spending 2 days there, one with Matt, our handsome cameraman, who will be doing some more interviews and more chatting and stuff like that. And then the second day, what we're going to do is the extension of the mega test. So if you remember on the mega test originally, we were at Autoglim and we did gloss testing, we did bead testing, we did all that sort of thing.
Yeah, reflection angles and
that was it, that was good. The problem is that we then put the waxes into a UV machine. And this UV machine, we did artificial weathering essentially on just UV, so not rain or wind or anything like that. And we did that for 3 months. and we found that there was no difference from the waxes afterwards. None at all.
Is what I would expect.
Yes, absolutely. And well, as you were saying, you expected that. We didn't. We thought there'd be brilliant data and stuff we could do, and I had 6 pages set aside as the editor of the mag, and I thought, woo, we're going to have lots to talk about. And basically, we didn't. Nothing had happened. So in the last issue, we had a very abbreviated mega test, and in this one, and this is coming out for issue 6, we're going to have some data, and it's going to be playing around with it, John. And we've had some ideas with John about setting things on fire.
Yes, fire.
Fire was good. Explosions possible. Possibly a car chase.
You never know your luck.
We didn't want to put any sex in it because we didn't. It'd be inappropriate.
No, well, you know.
But we might be melting down some waxes and getting all scientific on it, and so we're really looking forward to that.
Yes, we'll keep the sex out.
Yes, yeah, no, absolutely. No, I got the memo. That's fine. So anyway, all it leaves me to do is leave you in peace. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Brett.
And we shall now adventure around the NEC and see what other lovely cars there are here to go at. So on another interview at the NEC Classic 2017, we've come over to the Colourlock stand and introduced Ram of Colourlock.
Hello, nice to be here.
Indeed, indeed. And Ram is, Colourlock is a leather specialist. So it's leather, Alcantara, and it's not just cleaning leather like so many products are. It's full restoration, isn't it?
Yeah, we have a total range of 70 products to deal with all kinds of issues with all types of leather. Historically, we've always been very prominent in the automotive and the furniture sector, but more so in the automotive sector because over the last few years we've really signed up a lot of automotive manufacturers where our products get used directly at the manufacturing stage to repair various types of faults. So we've put together a lot of different solutions for manufacturers, and our products can be used not only at the manufacturing stage but also at after, so even in the after sales market, it's very useful.
Gotcha. So we're talking about products here that are created, are tailor-made, even for the manufacturers to use. So when it comes to using them at home, you know you're in safe hands for that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And this is your first year at the NEC, I hear.
This is our first year at the NEC. We've historically exhibited quite a lot at the Essen Motor Show in Germany. We've been doing that for a lot longer.
Ram, you're all over the world, aren't you? You're at SEMA last week.
Yes, we were at SEMA last week. Obviously, we just went there to meet some of our customers, some of our existing customers, but we also went there with an idea of looking at possibly exhibiting there and having a stand there next year, which we have actually booked, so that's confirmed.
Quite a lot of money for that, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a fair bit, but I think we have a lot of our existing customers there, and I think we want to go there and be able to help them, and obviously look for some new ones as well.
That's brilliant. Well, of course, the scene on the American scene for car detailing and for interior stuff and leather and hot rods and all of that is massive.
Yes, there is, and Colourlock has a certain amount of presence in the US already.
Am I right in saying I saw you on Gas Monkey Garage?
Yes, so one of our products was featured in the Gas Monkey Garage with Fast and Loud quite a few years ago. That was when they were working on Aston Martin, but there's still a lot of customers who are not aware of the full product range. So that's something that obviously we're looking to do, and we want to build closer ties with a lot of our existing customers and new customers. The detailing scene is quite big there as well, which is obviously a huge market. So that's something that we're looking to explore more.
Yeah, regular readers will remember Ram very kindly wrote us a vast article with loads and loads of photos, really good photos as well, which, speaking as like the person who puts the mag together, nice photos make such a difference. And it was going through the different types of leather. So you've got, aniline leather, and you've got sealed and unsealed, and all the different textures and stuff. So we do still have copies of issue 3, and it is literally a leather special. It is leather zone. And also, big news, issue 6, you're doing an article on Alcantara care.
Yeah, so we're doing an article about Alcantara just because I think there's not a lot of information out there, and I think people still are looking for the right process, the right products, and how to deal with it, how to protect it, and it's being increasingly used in a lot of modern cars.
Well, Audi headlinings now are
headlining, steering wheels, a lot of inserts in car seats as well have Alcantara. So I think it's important to have a good bit of information, and there's a lot of confusion between Alcantara and suede.
Okay, in no more than a minute,
Okay.
how do you define what Alcantara is?
So Alcantara is a synthetic material, man-made material that is made to look like and resemble suede, but it obviously is not suede. Alcantara is just a cheaper alternative because it's a man-made material.
And whereas suede is the reverse of leather, isn't it?
Suede is the inside, the flesh side of the leather. But with suede, it is expensive purely because the shape of the hide. There's a lot of wastage, but Alcantara is rolled out in sheets, so it's substantially cheaper. But yeah, it's very effective in terms of using for car seats and car interiors.
Brilliant. But looking after it is quite important. You can damage suede, can't you?
Yes, absolutely. You can damage suede. You've got to be very gentle in terms of how you deal with it. There's pilling is a very common issue with Alcantara, so we're going to be talking a lot more about how to deal with that, how to protect it. So yeah, really look forward to that.
That'll be a fun article, and he's very kindly done us a little write-up on SEMA, because strange enough, the Pro Detailer budget does not stretch to that. We have been on baked beans for weeks just to get to Birmingham, so SEMA's impossible for now. But it's been brilliant. And what I was asking is, there are so many products. Over 70 products in the range.
Yes, we've got 70 products. We have a product range which is dedicated for the DIY customer, so people who just want to buy the products and do it themselves at home. But we also have a product range geared for professionals and people in the trade and in the industry.
Because you offer training as well, don't you?
We offer training on how those products need to be applied and how they can be used. And there's also a lot of information on our website where professional customers and trade customers can just log on, sign up to a trade account and get discounted prices at the back of it.
Well, I've talked to a lot of PVD members who've done the course, and they've all been chuffed to bits, and the products work. I know we're working together and stuff, and so that's really coming together nicely. What's your favourite colour lock product then?
Well, one of my favourite color lock products is the DIY restoration kit. There's a lot of DIY products out there on the market, but I think it's taken us quite a few years to sort of hone and get it really to the point where that the job that you do with the DIY still gives a very, very nice finish. So the DIY kit mainly includes a couple of other products as well, but the two main products are leather filler called the fluid leather filler.
Gotcha.
Which is ideal for filling cracks and little rips and tears and scratches can be sort of fixed with that. And the other product is called the Color Lock Leather Fresh, which is a leather restorer. We call it as a dye, but it's technically not a dye. It has dye-like properties because it's very transparent. But the finish that you get from this is by far probably one of the best in terms of a DIY product that I've ever used.
And you use this on a modern sealed leather. It's not, because a lot of people with leather feed, the big kind of hokum is they say, oh, you've got a leather feed, as if your leather is still a living animal and not actually covered in plastic, which most leather is nowadays.
Yes, leather is absolutely covered. It's sealed. It has a heavy layer of automotive leather I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And it has a heavy layer of colour on the surface. So friction, people getting in and out of the car, the scuffs that happen usually damage the colour layer on the surface.
So covering that with oil from a feed is not really going to achieve much.
It will hide it, but only temporarily. As that dries out, you'll be able to see the greyish colour underneath again, and that's when what you really need to do is just restore the colour. And we offer a custom colour matching service based on the chassis number for most of our customers.
So it's like a paint chip repair. You can put in your chassis, your VIN number, which is down by the windscreen, and various other places, and then you will actually mix it specific to that car.
Yeah, so customers, all we ask customers is that they email us photos, they email us the chassis number, and we'll do all the work for them. We'll find out all the details about their car. We'll check our archives and see if we've got a sample in our database. If we haven't got a sample, then we'll just ask customers to post a sample.
Swatch through. Yeah, absolutely. Well, this sounds fun. And how much does this cost as a kit?
As a kit, Overall, you're probably looking about 55 to 60 pounds, including VAT and delivery. But in certain cases, customers may need a couple of other products as well, depending on the condition of the actual damage.
So if you are, I was going to say green-fingered, but that's probably the wrong term. If you're into your kind of DIY, your enthusiast level, with the Colour Lock brand, you can have a go yourself. But then also, there's a whole network of professionals, more or less around the country, who can come and do it for you if you're lazy, inept, or have made a hash of it and are a bit embarrassed and just want to say it came like that from the previous owner. It all works. So Ram, thank you very much.
Thanks a lot.
Been a pleasure.
Same here. Yeah, really looking forward to it, and yeah, looking forward to the magazine very soon.
Absolutely. Well, send me the artwork.
Definitely.
Brilliant. See you soon.
Cheers.
Thank you for watching part 2. I hope you enjoyed our whistle-stop tour of the NEC Classic Car Show. If you'd like to subscribe, click here. If you'd like to look at our other videos, click here.